What makes a movie a queer movie? Scholars have been asking this question since at least as early as Vito Russo's groundbreaking study, The Celluloid Closet. Is a movie queer because it's directed or written by a gay person? Is a movie queer because it has LGBTQ characters? Is a movie queer because its audience is queer? Is a movie queer because its metaphors, its drives, and its conflicts speak to the queer experience in all its fear, its joy, and its salvation? Hi there. I'm Dr. Andy Hill, professor of film history at the University of Colorado, Denver. And one of the things that I write about is the emotional experience of going to the movies. And for instance, one of the questions I ask is, can a straight person and a queer person sit in the same theater and literally see a different movie? And I'm here to tell you why Sister Act is a gay-ass movie. Let's start with authorship. Sister Act has not one, not two, but three queer authors. Screenwriter Paul Rudnick, who you might know as the screenwriter of Jeffrey, In and Out, and Addams Family Values, said he was inspired by drag for this film, that great queer art form, and imagined a showgirl doing a kind of purity drag. In an interview with The New Yorker, Rudnick chuckled, "I wanted our heroine to embody the raunch, sex, and unstoppable gospel of cheap showbiz. It would be pop versus Pope, and pop in a barrage of sequins would win." Rudnick actually went to a convent to research the nunnery, commenting he never won over their trust because we worship different Madonnas. Queer director Marc Shaiman, who had written the music for Hairspray, and Emilio Ardillo, the choreographer whose film Dirty Dancing became a nationwide sensation, would inject the film with exuberance and joyous camp. Sadly, Ardolino would die a year after Sister Act was released from complications due to AIDS. And then we have the actors. So many queer icons in this film. Comic genius Kathy Najimy, character actress Mary Wickes, known for playing lesbian-coded characters in cinema since the 1940s. And then there's Ms. Goldberg herself. From her tomboyish turn in Jumpin' Jack Flash to her lesbian characters in The Color Purple and Boys on the Side, Goldberg is seemingly incongruous with heterosexual romances in film. In fact, many of her scripts were rewritten to downplay the heteroromance plots of her films. Scholar Rebecca Wanzo describes Goldberg as a perennial fish-out-of-water comedienne, excelling in roles where she is asked to perform the other, and perform it badly. And how might we think of this as a queerly themed film? We could start by pointing out that heterosexuality is the problem in this film. Not only is it represented as duplicitous, but associated with casinos and corruption, but also Reno, famously the place where heterosexual marriage comes to die. In Sister Act, heterosexuality will literally kill you. Dolores, you in danger, girl. And Dolores' journey is a flight from heterosexuality and into the sapphic sanctuary of St. Catherine's bosom. Need more proof? One of the books that Rudnick used as research for the film was Nancy Manahan's 1985 expose, Lesbian Nuns, Breaking the Silence. Of it, Rudnick says, "I learned that for gay women, especially those in earlier generations, the cloister had often been a true sanctuary." And that's the joke. If you read Rudnick between the lines, where queerness has always been in the movies. Watch when the nuns take over a biker bar and horny sister Mary Patrick dances with her sisters and sings about wanting gravy on her mashed potatoes. Calm your tits, Disney. As they leave, one of the patrons bemoans, "This better not become a nun bar." And then there's the theme of voice in the film. How many of us, growing up queer, made our voices smaller because we thought them too feminine, too masculine, too lisped? I defy you to watch the film tonight in the presence of 199 other queer folks and not read this as a queer film. And when Sister Mary Roberts, the most queerly coded character in the film, says this,
"You see, I've always felt that there's something inside me that I want to give. Something that's only me and nobody else." Does that sound like a terrible thing? Like pride?
No. It doesn't sound like a terrible thing at all.
I'm so happy that you've come to join us, Mary Clarence. Do you know how sometimes it's as if you have to be yourself or you'll just burst?
Yep, I do.
I want to think back on the dynamic power of this movie, this queer, female, black movie. When Dolores uncovers her beautiful natural hair and leads the women in a chorus, she brings joy back into their lives and leads them to a better path. So I welcome you all to find your voice tonight and to quote along, sing along, clap, laugh, and dance. Rainbow Cult is where we find our joyful noise together. Thank you.